Beautiful. And what about your granddad? Is he there as well? Ask her, can she bring him forward because you never met him before? Does he come forward? Is it great to see him? Very good. Don't worry about your face. I don't want to pull you out of this. Just give him a hug. You've never met him before, huh? He's filled with love though, isn't he? Amazing love, isn't it? He has a message for you. Go ahead and receive it. Remember, you're taping. If you don't remember anything, you're going to think nothing happened. What does he say?
He said that he knew that he wasn't going to stay in his life very long.
Mm-hmm.
But he knows everything that's going on here. He had some hard lessons in his life.
He learned a lot though, didn't he? Very good. It's wonderful to see him, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now ask.
He said that he felt like he died in Germany. He was in a war.
I want you to keep your eyes open or you're going to break it. Take a long, slow, deep breath. Inhale. And feel the relaxation moving through your body as you go deeper and deeper into the scene. So was he there in Germany at all? Very good. Did you know him while you were a horse?
Yes.
Who was he?
Jim.
Jim, was that her husband?
Yes.
So they had 2 lifetimes together then, huh?
Yes.
Very nice. Very, very nice. Does your family come from Germany? Your family here, your family in Missouri, do they come from Germany? Your ancestry?
I don't think so.
Ah, very good.
My grandpa was in a war in Germany. World War II.
World War II. Is that where he passed?
No. He died when he got back.
Okay, so he made it all the way through the war then. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. Now I know there are more that are there that would like to greet you. Could you ask your grandma Martha to bring forward your grandparents from your dad's side? They can.
I can see it.
Can you see them?
Yes.
Beautiful. How's it feel to see them?
It's really good.
I want you to go ahead and give them both a big hug. And feel their love pulsing through you. Very nicely. And what is, you've never met your granddad. He has a message for you. Go ahead and receive his message first. I think you want to hear this one. Nice and loud and clear.
He's showing me that he's showing me it's like he can be in one place and another place at the same time.
Understood.
He can have a life here and he can have a life somewhere else at the same time. And ever since he left, it's like he really never did leave. He has the same experiences that my mom has and that I have. He has them too. He sees them.
He sees what is that he sees?
He sees the experiences that we have, like birthdays, children.
Oh, understood. Understood.
He's aware of everything.
So he's showing you his multidimensional self.
Yeah.
And is he telling you that you're a multidimensional being as well?
Yes.
And what is the message that your Grams has for you?
She's showing me like what you think about automatically you can move yourself there, like if she
So they're showing you
whenever she's showing me, like after she passed over, whatever she wants to do or wherever she wants to go, she just thinks about it and she moves there.
So they're showing you how it is after you die, because you had the question of what it's like once you get to the other side, and they're already showing you, huh?
Yes.
I want you to remember everything that they've shown you and know who it is that is showing you, and that they love you and they're holding you in the best interest. They're answering your questions, aren't they? Without even asking.
Yes. It's like a grid, and there's like 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and you can think about it and just be in it.
That's awesome. Ask them, is that what's coming to the planet Earth? While you're in this lifetime, you'll be able to do that as well? They'll tell you.
Yes.
So they know what's going on the planet, huh?
Yes.
Ask them, is the planet ascending into a higher vibration?
Is the planet ascending into a higher vibration? Yes. It already is.
Oh, it already is. Is that why the connection that you have with them is so strong in this session?
Yes.
Very good. Very, very good. And tell them you had some questions and you'd like to ask them if they don't mind answering if they can.
Yes.
Ah, very good. Now all four of your grandparents are there?
Yes.
I want you all to hold hands, and I want you to take a long, slow, deep breath and make a real connection with them, and release and feel the relaxation moving through your body. And as your vibration begins to rise, you'll be able to understand everything. And I want you to feel that circle of love. Can you feel the circle of love, Erin?
Yes.
Very nice. Your first question is, Dottie, your beautiful dog, what is your connection with Dottie? There's something more profound. There's so profound about your relationship. They know.
What is our connection? Dottie is my guide. Dottie is my guide.
Ah, and she physically manifests with you, huh?
Yes.
Very nice. Is Dottie's higher self there? And if so, can she come forward, or can they come forward?
Yes.
Tell me when they come forward.
I see her.
Ah, very good. First, I want you to just describe her. Don't touch her face. Get out of your face. Relax. Your hands are so heavy you can't lift your physical hands. Just feel the love. Let the tears just fall over your face. They're not going to hurt you. What does she say?
She doesn't say anything. She says beautiful.
Beautiful. You describe her then.
She just looks just like an angel.
She is an angel. She loves you, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Interesting to feel that type of love, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very beautiful. It's okay.
It's hard to hold on to it. Oh,
Just let her presence be there. So now you know the connection, don't you?
yeah.
And just feel her love. She don't have to say anything. It says it all just by being close, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's hard to be close to her.
Now your
She's
best,
always been with me.
always there. What's her message to you?
She said that she has always been with me through every life.
Excellent.
She is like she is me.
Ah, very good. So you're bilocating in the dog and in your physical body. That's pretty amazing,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's really interesting that your grandparents showed you that you could do that to prove it to you, huh?
Yeah.
I believe you're getting all your answers, aren't you?
Yeah.
And I want you to remember everything, Erin. I don't want you to forget anything, the entire experience, especially the love. And what about your best friend Judy? What type of relationship have you and Judy have? You've been friends for 10 years now. Is Judy's higher self there?
It's Judy's higher self. She's here.
Ah, very good. And I want you to go ahead and greet her and
Judy's family is from Germany.
very good. Speak it all so you can hear it again.
Judy was my mother in another life. I was part of Judy's family in Germany in another life.
Understood. And that's why you've get along so wonderfully in this life, huh?
Right.
And what's her message?
Her spirit guide and my spirit guide are connected.
So I would say you are in a soul group.
Yeah.
Who else is in your soul group? They'll tell you.
My mom,
Your mom,
Jenny.
Jimmy in your life is who?
Jimmy.
Jenny. Okay, very good.
Dad.
Your dad.
Shannon.
Beautiful.
Leanne. Jim.
So all of you have manifest physically on the planet Earth to be with each other, to go through this amazing ascension process. And what about your sisters that you don't communicate with much? Have you named?
Still connected with them.
Very good. And why? Ask them, why does it seem like you guys aren't as close as you could be?
Why does it seem like we aren't as close as we could? She said that we will be, that I should be patient.
Because as the vibration rises on the planet, all the relationships will reveal themselves in a more loving way, won't they?
Yeah, because right now, what she said is they're playing out a role. It's for learning and growth. And they're having their own evolution. But if I'm patient, I'll see that we will be closer.
Beautiful. Makes you feel much better, doesn't it?
Yeah, everything's really the way it's supposed to be right now.
Oh, excellent. Very good. And ask them about a relationship. Are you going to have a relationship with someone that you can, have a family with? Someone you can trust, and will you end up with a mate?
Ask Dottie.
What does Dottie say?
Yes, I will. I'm gonna wait until I'm older.
Will you have transitioned totally into the fifth dimension by the time that happens, or after the shift?
Maybe not quite. It's like the person and I are going to have a purpose in meeting each other.
Oh, very good. So it's not best to know all the details yet, is it?
No.
Very good. Understood. And what about those orbs that you see flying all over in your living room? And remember, at the other house, they were there too. What are those, or who are those?
What are those orbs? The orbs that are in the living room, in the bedroom. That's all of my family.
Oh, okay. So they'd like
My
to...
family and guardian angels. Like they are guardian angels. My grandma, both grandmas. Sometimes they're just showing their present or watching us. It's family and guardian angels. There's another guardian angel.
Understood. Continue, I'm sorry.
Dottie's name isn't Dottie.
What is Dottie's name?
Elizabeth.
And take a long, slow, deep breath. And hear the answer, Elizabeth. And release it. And you're feeling your vibration rise. And the communication is becoming stronger and stronger. So what is Dottie's spiritual name? Ah, Elizabeth. Out of all those orbs that are flying around that you see, that you catch in the pictures, are any of them extraterrestrials? Because when you were a small child, you saw a UFO, and you were wondering if you were connected to them in any way. Are you? They'll tell you.
Yes.
Are any of the orbs, any of those extraterrestrials?
Yes.
And which extraterrestrial group, out of curiosity, are you connected with?
The
Ah, the blue. Blue avians?
Bluvia. Blue avia. Blue avia.
Ah, blue avian. Hank is connected with those blue avian as well?
Yes.
How is it that you and I come together here? Are any of your family familiar with me?
Yes.
Could they elaborate?
Hank is like not like a president, but like a teacher, kind of like making decisions for other people. I can see he's like a president. Like, people have a lot of respect for Hank, hold him in high regard, like learning lessons, making decisions, protection.
And so how are we connected, you and I?
We're from the same place.
Ah, very good. And you say we're both a part of those blue avians, huh? Have you ever heard of that before? No?
Blue avians? I haven't heard of them before.
I mean, that is what you said, right?
Yes.
Okay. Very good. And so your connection with those, what happens when, have they ever taken you with them, or your energetic body, and had communication with you that you've forgotten about?
Yes.
When does that take place?
Many times.
In your dream state?
Yes.
And what is the purpose of that?
Downloading.
Ah, they're downloading information to you?
Like sharing information.
And what type of information would they be sharing with you?
Information about changes, energy, earth. Basically adding information as you go.
And
Teaching you things.
they're teaching you
and, teaching me things and adjusting my body.
They're adjusting
Like adjusting my body to the earth.
frequency?
Yes.
So they're really looking out for you, huh?
Yeah.
And what are you going to do with all this information that you're receiving? What are you to do with it, or is it just to help you adjust?
It's going to help me adjust, but I can see that there's a lot of people that are getting information, and they're carrying people around them, like carrying their vibration up. Like, you're there, I'm here, Dottie. They carry the vibration for the people around them in order to raise the vibration. I can feel it.
That's what the blue avian do, huh?
Yeah.
Are those the avian, are those the bird-like entities that we keep hearing about?
Why? Why they have bird feathers?
Ah, so can you see them?
Yes.
Very good. And are there any of those that actually can communicate with you? We're just curious.
Is there any that can looks like Dottie like she wants to filter me. Filter.
Understood. Dottie is protecting you, so is it not time to have a communication with them?
Not yet.
No.
Vibration.
Okay, no worries. We understand. Well, you were wondering, you've had some pretty you've been pretty super sensitive your entire life. You've been able to read tarot without even knowing much about them. You've been able to predict things. What are your gifts that you've brought with you here to the earth in this life? Any gifts that you may have that they could share that'll help you with your purpose on the planet?
I can sense things about the future sometimes. But she showed me that I can sense some things about the future. But like there's a need to protect it and be like, don't use it as a trick or anything like that. Just use it like to be. I'm having a hard time.
Well, just tell her you're only interested in it because you wanted to see how you could best help the planet Earth while you're here, because you have this feeling that you're here to help and to do good. She says don't have doubts about it. Have confidence in yourself. And just relax. Don't make it harder than it is. Understood. And you will take that to heart. You just were curious about these abilities that you've had, and you were wondering, since you're here, if you could get any more information. But you take that and you're very appreciative for that. You've seen...
said that...
I'm sorry, go ahead. I apologize.
She said there'll come a time when you'll use it.
Excellent. Tell her thank you. And thank you for looking out for what's best for her, for you. You seem to be really drawn to Great Britain and the British culture. Is it tied to your ancestry in any way, or what is what is the draw, the lure of that place that makes you resonate with it so profoundly?
She said I feel it because I've been there many times, many lifetimes.
Ask her, how many times have you been to the planet Earth? And the physical incarnation. You know, once as a horse.
16 times.
16 times.
She said I've been to other planets also.
What were you doing on those planets?
Different things for evolving.
So is it your purpose on the planet Earth to help with the ascension process? You say you hold a vibrational signature. Is that part of your gift, to just be here to help raise the vibration of others? Is that tied into your purpose, or?
Yes. Yes. I can see she showed me like a grid, and there's certain people throughout this grid that are helping other people who can't raise their vibration as much. Just by being present, you raise the vibration of the area.
So you're holding down the fort in Missouri, huh?
Yeah.
Excellent. And what about your daughter? What is the special relationship that you have with your daughter?
What is a special relationship? She showed me like soul sisters, like sisters.
And you know, they already understand what your relationship with your daughter was while she was younger, and you've had some regrets. But what do they feel about that? What's their advice on you with those regrets?
What do you feel about the regrets that I have about the past? She says that sometimes things happen the way they do for other people's experience, like an agreement or a contract.
Yes.
And so, in order for them to get the strength that they'll need later, they have to experience certain things. And sometimes you may do bad things, but you agree to, basically, she showed me that you agree to, it's like you're facilitating something.
Absolutely. So in that way you understand, and it's easy for you to forgive. Is that correct? To forgive yourself.
Yeah. Like you needed to be, it's almost like a play.
Yes, exactly.
But let's see what she's saying. But it's alright.
Does that make you feel much better? Does
Yes.
it? Very good.
Yes.
Very good. So like Hank said, it was meant. Remember the way I showed? Okay, very good. Very, very good. Oops, I said it. Very good. Okay, so what about the future? What about traveling? Do you see yourself going to be traveling a lot coming up here with your career and with in your life, because you love to travel?
Yes. I will.
And what about employment? You left the place that you were, and you know there's something else there, something else for you. What do they suggest? What would be the best direction for you to take that would bring you the most joy and fulfillment in terms of a career? What is their advice? All of them, any of them, collectively.
What should I do? She's showing me that I'm going to work for myself.
Excellent.
I'm going to use my spiritual gifts as also a way to make money. I'll be able to work remotely for myself, like from home. Kind of what I'm already doing.
So that, just let her know that's why you asked earlier about your spiritual gifts and wanting to be able to develop them. What's the best way for you to develop your spiritual gifts? Because you do have a desire to be helpful, and you know, I'm sure it brings you joy to help people.
and that I can study, taking courses, going to a seminar.
What type of studying? What in particular? What direction? Please.
She said I'm already on the path.
Excellent. Ask them, will Hank be involved in what you're doing in any way?
Yes.
How so, if they could elaborate?
She's showing me different versions of Hank. Hank is a teacher, Hank is a facilitator. Hank is like a messenger. Teacher, facilitator, messenger, channel, several versions of Hank, helping a lot of people, not just me. I'll be involved. Even other people.
Hank loves that kind of stuff.
Other people around Hank. Like, even this actual event right now. And other events like this. And then other people having events like a downward spiral or...
Like ripples on a pond, it's just rippling out?
Yes.
And a lot of people. So would it be a good thing for Erin to share this session?
Yes, it would be.
So they think a lot of people will be influenced by hearing this message and seeing this connection?
Yes.
Very good. You had some more questions because it's wonderful. You've met your guardians, you've met your guides. What about Jesus? Is it possible that you could meet Jesus? Because he's such a strong, beautiful figure in the lore on the planet. And he's come through in so many sessions. But you would feel so blessed to have the opportunity. Some call him Lord Sananda. Is it possible for him to come forward, please?
Yes.
Tell me when he comes forward.
He's here.
Ah, beautiful. How does it feel to be in his presence?
It feels intense.
A lot of love, huh?
Yes.
Oh my, the tears are already falling out of my eyes. Woo! Yes. This is what you had a desire. He has a message for you. Please receive his message. Because you wanted to know if he was real. What does he say?
He has always been.
Always.
He says you worry too much. Even if you don't think you do. He says I try to always figure things out. And everything's already taken.
Hallelujah.
Everything's already taken care of. My mom's already taken care of. My dad. Nope, right? Underneath that.
And he's real, isn't he?
Yeah, he is real.
How does it feel to be in that presence? I know I said it already, but you know?
It feels really intense, and it's almost hard to or to be near him.
And take a long, slow, deep breath. And let your vibrations rise and feel His love moving through you from head to toe. And ask Him while He's there if He could just touch you and let it take His hand. And if He could remove any negativity, any addictions, even your heart, if He can help open your heart. And I want you to feel His love moving through you. He knows what you need, doesn't He?
Yeah.
How's that? Feel better?
A gold light.
Is that gold light scanning your body?
Yes.
Very good.